really grateful with Mr. Bernie because he teach her math, and she always said, "Oh, math is my favorite subject at school." Yes, 2 grades ahead.
2 grades
Two grades ahead.
Got the star report card. She's in the advanced level in the public school system.
He's been having a lot of fun with math.
Yeah.
Now when I'm bringing him to school in the morning,
Yeah.
he asks me to give him numbers so he can add them up.
Yeah.
So it's not finger counting, because pretty soon we're gonna run out of fingers.
Yeah.
But it's your system, the one that works.
Yeah.
So I just wanna express my appreciation for you,
Thank
for your
you.
program,
Thank you.
and thank you one more time.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything that you're doing for my son.
I love that he's only 4 years old and he knows how to do single digit addition, double digit addition, subtraction. I mean, his other school is so impressed with all of the work that he's doing here that now they're giving him homework in his afternoon school too, to challenge him. And they say, you know, he has taken a leadership role in his classroom. He's so confident about all of the work that he does.
We're very, very satisfied with the system that Mr. Bernie has. And it's worth every penny we put it into. We will go ahead and recommend it for all of you parents out there that would like for their children to success in math.
I've seen an enormous expansion in the knowledge of my son. It's almost been unbelievable. The progress he's made was instant. I mean, within 2 months. He was. It actually baffles me how much he's learned, and when I see the work he brings home, it still to this day baffles me. Every month it's something new, something more advanced than the next step. He's constantly moving forward. The mathematics is unbelievable. The mathematics has progressed farther than anything I could expect out of a 4 or a 5-year-old child.
Michael, can you give me the combination for 15?
Yes. I suppose 10 plus 5, 8 plus 7, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, 9 plus 6.
Very good. Can you give me the combination of 14?
Yes. 10 plus 4, 9 plus 5, 8 plus 6, 7 plus 7.
When you go and do math, how do you do math?
I count with my fingers.
You count with your fingers?
Yeah.
And when your daughter does math, how does she do math?
In her head.
In her head?
Yeah.
You mean she just looks at the numbers and she figures out what the answer is, and then tells you what the answer is?
Yes. Because that's the way I was taught in school. We would just count
Fingers.
and then
count objects.
Yeah, and Mr. Bernie doesn't believe in counting objects or anything. He believes that everything's in the head. So that's how she counts. She counts in her mind instead of counting anything. She doesn't count anything. She just has it all in her head. So it's kind of amazing that she's kind of more advanced than I am in that sense.
I'd like to give testimony to the mathematical program that Mr. Bernie has provided to my daughter. When I sent Mr. Bernie my daughter, she could count, and I felt she was at a good place, but I cannot believe how far he has actually taken her. She has the ability now to skip count in 2s, 5s, and 10s. He has this box, a number box, that he used to help her learn to add, and the visualization of that box, I think, just solidified it for her in her brain. She one day I was asking her about which numbers were larger or smaller, and she actually took her hand like this and like this because they're sticks, and she said this number was larger than the other one, using the graduation of her hands. And so in her mind, she can use the tools that he's given her. I think she has a mental number line because of the way that he instructs with his program. She can easily go up and down with numbers, and it's all mental. She's not counting on her fingers or doing any kind of tricks. It really is all mental. She can do column addition. She can do double-digit addition. She also does subtraction. I know in the traditional way of teaching subtraction, you're regrouping and you're combining all of these other things. But again, I don't know the secrets behind what it is that he's doing with the children, but she's able to subtract without knowing to regroup. She just does it. And it's just fascinating how she's been able to just grasp all of this. She loves it so much. She's always asking me to give her more problems.
My daughter that's currently in the program, Rihanna, she's already doing additions and subtractions at the age of 5 years old, and different tiers. It's not just single digit, and she's already getting into the double digits and addition, and she's also subtracting the single digit. And so when most kids her age, they're just learning actually the numbers, she's already doing subtraction and addition.
And is that mental math?
And it is mental math. In fact, I was seeing that in most public systems, the method that they use is either their fingers, or they use objects or things like that to help them add. For her, it's all mental math. She doesn't need. She just uses her mind to be able to add and subtract, and she just, you could see her, looking up and thinking and exercising her mind. And because of it, we've been very happy because she's able to do more than what we expected, and it's all due to the program that they have here.
The other thing I think that is great about this program is that he has them memorizing with it's not really even memorizing, it's more of using their brain to calculate combinations of numbers. So if I were to tell her, for example, what are the combinations of 10, she's also learned to take those numbers and put them together. So she can, for example, combination of 10 using 1 and 9. She'll go 1, 9, she'll go 2, 8, and she knows how to do that. And then just to test her, I just started throwing out other numbers, and again, she was able to apply that technique to other combinations. 15, I was asking her what are the combinations of 15, and she was just bam, 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 just going right through it. So
does she go and do that all in her head?
All in her head. Nothing is pencil and paper. She doesn't use that apparatus anymore at all. She's able to just conceptualize it in her mind.
What kind of results did you see?
She's to a point almost doing first grade math, and she's in kindergarten right now, and she hasn't even finished half of kindergarten year. So she's doing 3 digits additions, she's doing subtractions. It's phenomenal.
The love of learning that he has been instilled in her, and she's only 4. I hope other parents and other educators will likewise take advantage of what he has to offer.
We've been in family functions and gatherings with other children her age, and Rihanna, right away, you could tell the difference in regards to what the other kids know. When they are barely learning the sequences, what 1 and then 2, then 3, then 4, and they usually count up to 20. My daughter's already knows how to, at the age of 5, count over 100. She's been able to just show the difference. Her level of confidence is excellent. She looks forward to learning, and it's all due to the math program that she's having here.
So she's actually pretty confident about her studies, and is she pretty diligent about it? I mean, does she take her studies pretty seriously?
You know, it's amazing how much we think our children can actually do. My daughter, her homework time is usually between 30 and 40 minutes, and before it was actually a little bit over an hour. And you would think that, well, how can a 5-year-old actually sit down and actually do an hour's worth of work? But she does, and she, even though it's work for us, in the beginning, but now she's brought it down to 40 to 30 minutes because she's excelling. She's accelerating her process. It's like gotten a little bit more. She's comprehending what she's doing, so it's getting a little bit easier. And so she doesn't have a problem with it, because she sits down, does her thing, and it's exciting to see. It really is. From a parent's perspective, I think that's what we all desire for our kids, is to learn. And to see it firsthand at an accelerated rate, it's just amazing.
My son started adding and subtracting at age 3.5, and he started doing double math, subtraction, and addition. I want to say maybe before he turned 4. He's so good now. We play math games at home, and he usually beats me and his dad. He's very quick at math, and it's really just being good at math has really boosted up his confidence, and him being able to succeed so well at math has given him the confidence to do well in everything else. He started playing sports, and he wasn't very good in the beginning, and we emphasized how just like he learned math, he would learn that particular sport, and I kind of saw something just clicking in his brain, like, oh, it's just as easy as learning math. And then he kept trying, and he's really good at what he plays now, which is baseball. But we're just really happy with Mr. Burney's program. We strongly recommend it.
My child is 6 years old, and she's already subtracting, adding, and she's doing a little bit of algebra as well.
Algebra?
Yes.
Wow, so that's, you must be pretty happy about that.
I'm very excited. I'm extremely content with what's been going on in school. She's extremely excited to learn. She's starting to count money with me. She'll add money. She's helping us in the business, which is funny because when would you think a first grader can start helping you in your business? She was actually counting all the money for the day, and that's actually very exciting. And she can add, she can subtract, and for her to do that is such a great feeling, especially when she's 6 years old.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, I'm very grateful. Words can't describe it, and I do recommend it for a lot of parents, only because of Mr. Burney's techniques.
Do you think math has gone and helped her in learning other subjects?
I think the foundation that she got in math has really set the stage of having her wanting to learn, the love to learn. When you see a breakthrough, that she realizes that she knows how to do something, it only prompts her to understand that she could do that in any other subject.
Good.
Once you understand it and you're able to teach it to your children with the apparatus that they have and allowing them to develop their mindset, they'll be able to excel, absolutely.
Great. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, my pleasure.
What's the number?
1.
Good. What's the second one?
2.
In English. 2, okay.
2.
Okay. What's next?
3.
Right. What's next?
4.
Right. What's next?
Right. What's next?
6,
You're right. What's next?
7,
You're right. What's next?
8,
You're right.
9,
Right.
10.
There you go. Now she has been able to put it all together by herself.
The concept that he's developed is amazing because the foundation he's laying is all understanding math through visualization. And once you understand that, then you can just basically expand on that. I mean, based on the addition concept, he's on the subtraction concept, next is going to be multiplication. And all of this is happening in her head.
And she understands a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? And she learned how to do this a long time ago. Maybe right after she got this, she learned it immediately. Yeah.
Once she started practicing on a day-to-day basis, it was just second-hand nature to her. I mean, I'm driving in the car and I'll spit out a couple of numbers and in 2 seconds she'll give me the answer. So it's amazing. Sometimes it's even faster than when I'm calculating in my head, which is kind of scary.
Which is also kind of fun because
because
you're actually noticing that your child is actually expanding her knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Does your child going to relate like her understanding of math into other subjects or other interests?
She uses it in her day-to-day activities. Let me give you an example of that. Is that when we go buy a pizza or something, I sort of tell her just ballpark numbers. Okay, this is what it costs, and here's the amount of money. How much do you think you're going to get back? And she's incorporating subtraction that she's learning now into when she goes to a register to get the money, how much the cashier should give her back. So yes, I mean, she uses it all the time.
And is a math program that your daughter's learning? Is that something that you're going to recommend to other parents or schools?
I mean, recommend. I would go a step further and do many of these videos that I'm doing today to tell everybody I can that this is a system that should be employed. I mean, California public education would be advanced tremendously if they listen to Bernie's philosophies. I mean, it's amazing. Before I came to this school, I interviewed a lot of other public schools and private schools, and they were nowhere near the level that this school is in math and in language.
Mr. Bernie has made learning fun. He's made it to where she can enjoy mathematics. It's a challenge for her, and she loves the challenge. She loves being able to calculate in her mind. All of this is done mentally. They do record their answers on different sheets of paper that are given to them so that Mr. Bernie knows what it is she's doing. But again, it's all done in her mind. And several times during the day she'll ask me, "Give me some more math problems."
What do you think your child's confidence level is in math?
I would say 10 out of 10 at this point, yes.
It challenges them, and it really brings out their potential. And my child, just at 4 years old, he's doing far more than what I had expected. So.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mei-Ling Lang. My son, Ezekiel Jensik, has been using this system. He is currently in first grade. He's 6 years old. And I'm always very big on math because I love math and I want to make sure that my son also good in math. So when he started using it, it was pretty impressive, the math system that he's learning. At the beginning, it doesn't seem like he was really moving to me, but then when he was in it for a couple months, you can see a big improvement. While other kids were learning how to recognize numbers, he already doing multiple digit addition, subtractions. And he moved pretty fast too. They don't just learn one thing and forget about it. It stick with them.
My son actually has come to the point where math isn't just a learning and going to school, but he likes it. He enjoys it. He he likes to play. He likes to play cash register. He figures. It's funny, but he uses every excuse, or he's constantly counting items. He counts his pair of shoes. He says, "Mom, I have 5 jeans. 2 of them are old. Oh, I have 3 good jeans left." And math's become just such a part of his life. And I personally just enjoy the fact that he loves it. He's like embracing math, and it's not a chore. It's not like you have to go do your math homework. And I think that's part of what Mr. Bernie's done for him. That he teaches the kids how to I think it's the passion for the math, and I couldn't be more grateful to that.
The challenge, obviously makes them have to think more, and they want to get it done and get it done right. It makes them happy, the outcome of it.
I would recommend this program to any parent who wants to see their child excel in math. I have not come across any program like this. It's just exceptional, and I'm just so proud that there's a program like this that motivates our students for higher math thinking skills. That is just amazing.
The techniques that she was taught on early on, she's using them now to learn other things, not just math.
It's a great foundation. I think it's a foundation for almost anything. So the fact that my son has taken so well to it, and that he is so good at it, and that Mr. Bernie has really fostered, whatever greatness he has within has to be fostered, and I feel Mr. Bernie has really done that. I'm ecstatic. I'm super, super happy.
They tend to associate other things that they do. Yeah. They'll associate it with numbers and math and stuff like that. It just comes back to them.
I'm very, very happy, and I highly recommend the math program for your child, whatever age your child may be. I don't think it's never too late to start. I think it's just, I have nothing but good things to say, and I think that it would be a great investment.
At 6 years of age, she's helping in your business?
She is. She counts all the money. She counts money. Yeah, and then we give her the change, and then she separates it. She gives, she helps them with the change.
At 6 years of age?
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm really excited. I have her friends that are not attending the school. When we sit them down, there's no comparison. There's absolutely no comparison. They really should use your technique in all the schools. If this program was introduced to the public schools, I definitely think that the scores would be a lot higher, because we're doing horrible in mathematics. Right now, if anything, I was looking at the schools around here, they have really low scores. What's going to happen to this country? Really, those things are really important. If you have good basics, then you'll do good.
not even 3-4 months ago, they didn't even know. Could probably do the numbers to 10. That's about it. Yeah.
I still have to count my fingers, so when I'm checking their answers, and they just do it fast.
Because here's the thing, I mean, a 6-year-old, I mean, we were really comparing with some of Elon's friends. She has her cousin who's 8 years old, and he's barely adding and subtracting, you know, and she's 6 and she's already doing algebra, so that's a huge difference.
Mr. Bernie's math program has instilled so much confidence in my son that, you know, not only does he enjoy video games like most other kids do now, but he likes to do other stuff for fun, like watch the news, like just, you know, do puzzles, and not just like game puzzles, but he likes to do, like, you know, puzzles of the United States or the continents puzzles, and he's always so interested in like current events, like the recent Colorado fires, for example. He came home from school, he heard about it at school from another kid in school, and he came home, pulled his puzzles, his United States puzzle, and pretty much wanted to see where Colorado was, and, you know, relative to California, to make sure the fires were gonna get too close to us. And it's just like, I mean, at the time he was 4, and I was surprised. I'm like, my gosh, you know, what 4-year-old comes home worried about the fires in a different state, and not only is he worried about it, but he wants to know exactly where in the world that fire is taking place. And I mean, to me, it's like, it's different, it's news, but it all comes, I kind of always bring it down back to math, because that's the subject where he started being so good at, that instilled all the confidence, and now I feel like he's gone already. He's going and tackling everything else, you know.
Our children deserve the best. I believe that, and I think every parent would love to do that. Unfortunately, a lot of parents don't know about programs that exist here at the Academy. I have had the privilege to bring 2 other families, their children here, because of the foundation. I think that if the parents are willing to work with the program, support the program outside the 4 walls here at the program, here at the Academy, and continue the education at home, the children will excel tremendously, and you will not go wrong. I think that it's a program that should be taught in all the public schools, because if they did that, I believe that children would be in a different place, and they'd be a lot more prepared for the real world as they get older. So absolutely, I would highly recommend it to any family out there that would want the best for their children. Absolutely.
She's very confident when she does her homework. She does it by herself, and if she was to compete, you know, with other kids from other schools, I know she'll excel based on the skills she's developed.
Been a teacher, counselor, and principal, and I would never have expected that a preschool child could come into school as well prepared as my daughter will go into school. It is just phenomenal what he has been able to do with her, and my hat's off to Mr. Bernie. I would love every parent to have the opportunity to have their child have this type of head start. I would encourage educators, educational institutions to look at what Mr. Bernie has done and been able to do with very young children. As a country, we are way behind where other countries are, especially in mathematics. You know, the 8th graders in algebra struggle because I think they don't really own or have the conceptualization that Mr. Bernie has embedded in my daughter. She loves it so much, I think, you know, she doesn't see it as hard or as a task. She truly enjoys learning, and it's something that, you know, will go forward with her for the rest of her life. And I'm so thankful to Mr. Bernie for having given her this head start.
Thank you so much. How old is your child?
She's 4 years, 7 months.
My daughter, she was student of the year for a classroom. Once she moved on from this the school here, the foundation that she received, she went to kindergarten class in the public system, and from the beginning she was way advanced. And so I was sharing with the teacher that she was advanced, but who doesn't say that of their children? And so by the time they got to assess her, they realized that she was already reading at kindergarten. She was reading pre-second grade, and so by the end of the year, she ended up becoming the student of the year for her class, and it was she told us it was hands down from the beginning. The teacher had 30 goals for the year, and my daughter hadn't even put a foot into the classroom, and she actually knew 29 of the 30 items that they were going to learn for the year.
She has a website at school that is iExcel, and it has every kind of math problems. Yeah, and she spent like 1 or 2 hours playing.
Yeah.
It's not a game, but it's just practice.
Yeah.
But she take that like a playing. The numbers playing.
Do you enjoy doing math?
Yeah, very much.
You really enjoy it?
Yes.
What's so enjoyable about math to you?
The numbers.
I can say she's a very well-known student.
That's true.
Yes, she's really popular at school.
They know her name, Alicia Cruz.
Yeah, because she earned in the science club. Yes, for the science club, she earned in 3rd grade. She earned 3rd place in the science fair, and in 4th grade she earned 1st place in science fair. So
then joining the club.
She joined all the clubs at school, and she is always working with the teachers. Yeah, everybody knows her at school.
Very popular.
Yeah,
very smart, right?
Yeah, and because she always is the first in the for the student of the month, the first in big call her. She's the first one always. Yeah, she has a lot of competency, but she still is getting the first place.
I'm so glad.
That's fantastic. So much appreciate your time and allowing us to come over here and film you and your daughter and your family, and just your thoughts and feelings about how your children have gone and progressed and with the math program. And thank you so much for your time.
Least we can do for Mr. Bernie. We continue doing getting in touch, Mr. Bernie, right? And it's not the story is not over. We're just starting. We're just starting right now.
When you go and see like math problems at your school and the math problems that your teacher gives you, are you pretty confident that you're able to go and complete them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
You sound like you're pretty confident.
Yeah.
Not with the camera.
Not with the camera? You don't have to be so shy. You're still excelling at math, and you're still a really great student, and you're continuing on with your education, and you know how important education is, right?
Yes, very important.
Do you think that is important? Huh?
The records.
Yeah, he always said, everything goes to my records.
Everything goes to my records.
What do you want to be when you go big?
Harvard.
Harvard. Wow. Watch out world, huh?
One day a parent came to me and told me, "What have you done to my child?" So, what have I done? He said, "My child is correcting me." He said, "I was playing the bill and Jonathan said, 'Hey mom, why are you counting fingers?' So he said, 'That is how I learned.' He said, No mom, don't count fingers. Put it in your brain." That is true. He put it in your brain. You are counting fingers in the bill. Would you believe it? She came and said, "What have you done to my child?"
Well, they're capable. At that young age, most people think they can't do that. Like 5-year-olds can't add and subtract or multiply. It's like, yes, they can. If you teach them the right things, they can do it. It's just taking the time to do it. And most people don't take the time to teach them that.
So if this math program was available for anybody, that's not coming to the school, how do you feel about that? Would you recommend this?
Yes. I think if this was something they would teach in the public schools, it'd be a different society. Just because, if you learn from a younger age, you carry it on, and it makes you a better person. Maybe you'll like math and you won't be like, I'm not a math. Because there's people that say that I don't like math. I'm one of those people. I don't like math. Like I can't deal with it. But I mean, if I would have learned it a proper way, then maybe now I'd be like, oh, I love math and I want to do numbers. And that's what the kids say. So when they say, I love math, I'm like, wait, do you like language or math more? Math. It's always math. And it makes me sad because I'm like, why teach you language? You know, but they'll be like, oh, both math and language. And I'm like, okay, great. But if you had them pick, it's always, for them, for my students, it's always math.
It's always math.
Mm-hmm.
The Downey Patriot.
Yeah, Downey Patriot.
Yeah.
That's twice I've come out with Downey Patriot.
Oh yeah, the other one was your gate.
What happened? Tell me a little louder.
I came out in the Downey Patriot for GATE, which is Gifted on Talented Education. So they took a picture of all of us and I came out. And I think you still have the paper.
I have it somewhere in the box.
Interview you guys and take a picture because you're a gifted child?
Yeah, Gifted on Talented Education, yeah, at my elementary school, and then I have it this year as well.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You must be so happy about that.
Yeah.